All right, Jandler here, and just like any true TV show and episodic program out there, during the off season or the summertime, you tend to do a lot of reruns. All right, now we're doing the same thing here at Choey and Jandler's. It's just we're added our own little twist. We've gone back to some of the previous episodes, taken one episode, chopped it up into two episodes, using our new format. So I just invite you to sit back, relax, and listen to that. Enjoy it. But don't worry, we have more stuff coming out soon, like more things. And obviously, we'll be back in August. And until the next time, peace.
All right, guys, I want to say welcome back to Choey and Jandler's Happy Hour. Welcome, Jandler.
Welcome, Choey.
All right, now I think we're ready to go.
Another thing I forgot to point out when I was listening to our first few episodes on the podcast. Obviously, it's allergies and stuff related.
Yeah.
But you know how we joked about people thought we smoked weed all the time in high school?
Yes.
If you listen to the podcast, most of the time you're sniffing and I'm coughing. So it's people got
that right now. You pointed that out last time, and I've kind of noticed it.
It's like people got to be thinking like, what are they doing? Like we have like some bong here, which we don't
at all.
Yeah, but it just sounds funny. It's like
marijuana-based or alcohol-based. So, yeah, no, I was noticing I was still got my sniffles a little bit, and you coughed.
Dude, man, I've had this little cough thing for like 2-3 years, man.
Well, I don't know. Not a science lesson time, but I think like somebody says like South Texas is horrible with allergies.
Yeah, with the molds and
like,
whatever.
I kind of want to move just so I don't have to deal with it.
I do know, like when I used to live in Illinois, it's crazy dry up there in the wintertime, and I'd get nosebleeds, which aren't fun. I remember like the first time I got a nosebleed, I was trying to teach. Like I was student teaching, and my kids like freaking out. I'm holding my nose, right? And I was still trying to keep going. And there's blood everywhere.
Ignore the blood.
I was like, yeah.
Ignore the blood.
They're like, Mister. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I got it.
I'm fine.
And then my cooperating teacher, she's like, hey, I'll take over for the next 5-10 minutes. Go fix. I was gonna keep teaching.
You get all that shit all over. He's
like
really dedicated to the lesson.
Like that night from the Holy Grail and Monty Python.
Yeah.
Loses his arms and legs. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep fighting.
I'm fine.
But no, anyway, up there, I didn't get allergies like the nosebleeds I got, but I didn't get allergies. Like you don't get the watery eyes and the nose and like that stuff. So like it was a hit and miss. The give and take no matter where you are. There's always something. There's always not something or whatever. All right, so we kind of been joking around and stuff. Did I tell you about this? I got our new installed a new app just so we can mess around because we've been trying to.
Effects?
No, I haven't got the sound effects yet, but I got this. Remember, so that way I can just keep saying,
Mother.
Yeah, all the time. Do you ever? And I wanted to be like, you watch Old School, right?
Yes.
Remember, he's like, just say earmuffs, and he's like earmuffs, and then Frank's like, you hear that?
Yeah.
I thought it's funny.
I use that sometimes too, because whenever somebody's I'm with the kids and they're saying something, I'm like, calm down, it's not a celebration. Because they'll just sit there and say stuff that I'm like, it's inappropriate in public, don't say that. Don't say it in front of your mom.
Just trying to prove a point, right? You don't have to keep doing it, Frank. So anyway, so now that we kind of got a little joke stuff out of the way, the first thing I really wanted to talk about on here and then let you, if there's anything you want to bring up, how's your week been, man? How's school been going on? Because last time I talked, school hadn't started for me yet.
Oh, yeah, you started. I would love to say we're settle into the groove and stuff, but I don't know how you feel, man, but we just came off of Labor Day.
Uh-huh.
It seems like anytime there's a 4-day week.
This week seemed long, didn't it?
It's never a holiday. Like, you have that day off, but it just, like, the work exists. Even though you're not supposed to do work on that day, like, the work just somehow, school week, got to get 5 days worth of work in. It don't matter if it's 5 days, 4 days, 3 days. Just it packs in, man. So like,
yeah, this 4-day week seemed crazy.
Yeah, I'm sitting there on Wednesday and I'm like, okay, tomorrow we're doing this and this for the whatever pep rally, and they're like, no, that's on Friday. And I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. And they're like, no, tomorrow's Thursday. I'm like, today's like one of those like where you almost want to cry. Today's only Wednesday, and your voice cracks. I'm like, oh god.
You really want to cry? We don't get another holiday until Thanksgiving.
You don't. I got one coming up.
Oh,
Indigenous Columbus Day or whatever.
Indigenous
Columbus Recreational Park Day. So whatever. So that way nobody gets offended.
So we got they and I this tells you how good I pay attention to the calendar because teachers had to tell me about it. They did away with Columbus Day for us, and they're doing Election Day or whatever, which makes sense. Like so,
November, like the November.
Yeah, November 10th. So because we're like a polling station, actually, well, the kids aren't going to be there. I would think we're still going to be there because they really don't let us teachers go home. But this is something that I've been saying for years. When I used to live up in Illinois, they would do it all the time. Because you're out of school, you don't want people from outside the school to be able to kind of interact with them. I mean, they shouldn't, but like it's a safety thing. So
true.
So the kids, that'll be their next day off. But yeah, my next day off is whatever, the end of November when the World Cup starts. So I'll be happy for that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that stuff.
I'll be happy about that.
I told my AP that I might be hiding out a little bit.
Well, I told one of my.
Depending upon when those games are.
Well, that first week, so when England plays USA is Black Friday, so we're off.
Oh, that's good.
But I know that, like, I told some of my teachers in second grade, I was like, hey, don't be surprised if I take some days off in like December. And they're like, whatever, because I don't really miss. I don't know what's going on out there. It does sound kind of it takes me off track, but now that we're on location this time compared to where we were last time. Remember how I wanted you last time we did it because you kept worrying about your dogs barking.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny if you just like heard sounds and you start yelling, "Shut up!" Like nothing's going on, man.
Just losing my mind. Who's he yelling at? Just let it go.
So yeah, school started for me, right?
Is that going well?
Yeah, I mean it's going pretty good. I think we've talked to both sports guys. I think of school as like a season. It's like sports, right? It's a new season, right? Summer's the off season. We move on. So and in the summer, just like in professional sports, is the only time that the off season is the only time that you're healthy, like you're 100%, right? So you reset unless people do summer school, but you kind of get back in it. You don't talk to a whole group, so your voice kind of comes normal. So now that I'm back talking to a class, I have what I'm starting to call teacher voice because you have to project your voice.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't been doing it for a while, your vocal cords just aren't ready. And I have to constantly remind myself, being the new season, new group of kids, there's a lot of rules in place that they don't know yet. Like we're still building, and it's like the first day in the first week of school, you go over like procedures, but every day almost there's like something hits my brain. I'm like, oh, we haven't talked about this yet. We need to talk about it now, so that y'all understand this is how we handle this situation, or this is how we handle this situation. Oops, I wasn't cussing there.
My bad.
But I will say, like, so this year compared to my last year's group, this year mixes a lot better. I had some personality problems last year.
Oh, yeah.
So this year I don't have to deal with that, at least so far. So I'm happy about that. But I will say, and then again, I'm a teacher, you're in the admin.
Yeah.
But I think lower kids, I don't know if it's probably the same in high school, who knows, but man, I repeat myself so much. Like I will sit there and tell the directions, okay, boys and girls, you're going to do problems 1, 2, and 3. Put your name on it. Well, let's say put your name on it first. I'll hold it up. What's the first thing you do? And they repeat it back. Put your name on it. Second thing, we do questions 1, 2, 3. Like, what's the second thing? And they'll repeat it back. And then the third thing, you turn it in, right? And then I'll say, can somebody repeat what I just said, right? And so a kid will raise their hand, and he or she will say everything I just said. And then I'll be like, does anyone have any questions? No one raises their hands. And then they're like, all right, let's go to it. I'm going to start pulling small groups or whatever, right? And then this one kid will raise their hand and be like, what do I do? And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like, I just said that. We just went over it I just had the kids repeat it. I was like, are you? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. We need to find someone to help you out. Because I was like, dude, I just talked about that.
Dude, I tell you what, though, the most frustrating time I ever had teaching was when I was a PE teacher as an elementary PE teacher. Because the kindergartners, the pre-kinders, sometimes the first graders, were the worst. Because you sit there and you talk, and you get this lesson. We got 45 minutes of PE time, right?
Yeah.
So we roll in, we do our little run around, get a little bit of energy going, blood flowing, do stretches, line up. All right, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. Everybody got it? Yeah, cool. Remember this. We got it? Yeah, cool. Any questions? And I just got to where I realized I can't ask them that because all of a sudden they get a hand up. And it was one of 3 things. Never had to do with the activity. It was, can I go to the restroom? can I get water? Or I like some sort of article. I like your shoes. I like your shirt. I like your, which was nice. Like, bucket filler stuff. Thank you for giving me a compliment. But, dude, the kiss of death was like the water or the restroom, because as soon as one asked for water or restroom, 20 other hands shoot up. Well, like, nobody's getting water. Nobody's going to the restroom.
There's like kindergarten cop. There is no bathroom.
Pretty much, because it's like one of those, like, no, you can't. Because as soon as you do that, and like all of a sudden everybody, oh, I want water. I want to go to the restroom. All right, cool. Let's play the game. The 5 kids that want that, and the rest of them are like looking at you like they don't remember what we're doing. And I'm like, I just 5 minutes right now. Now we're closing in on 10 minutes. I've been giving you instructions. We're not even gonna I remember the first PE class I taught to those little kids.
Yeah.
We hardly played the game.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how the way to get them to get it right, and they just didn't do it.
You're like, watch me. Watch me.
30, like I got 50 kids, and 30 of them were lined up at the restroom in the water line.
Was it just you in there? You didn't have like an aide or anything?
No,
okay. No, you reminded me also with these younger kids, because I did 5th grade for a year, and I taught 3rd grade for 3 years. And well, technically, when I was in Illinois, I subbed kinder through 8, so I've been all around. But with these 2nd grade kids, I have to explain. I have to explain it to them. I'm gonna cut that out, by the way. I have to explain to them. There's a difference between, like, okay, you don't have to go to the bathroom, and then it's emergency, right?
Yeah.
But there's this in between when you kind of feel you got to go, because like these young kids, they'll go from like not having to go at all to like it's like they're dancing and they're holding, they're like, they're crossing their legs and like, I gotta go, and I'm like, well, I just let little Johnny go. I can't let you go, because I tried to let one boy, one girl at a time, but they're like all over the place. I'm like, I wanted to make a mess on the floor, and I'm like, all right. But no, another thing, and then I'll turn it back over to you. When you're talking about the questions they have, I'll be like, does anyone have a question? And someone will raise their hand and be like, it's my brother's birthday this weekend. And I'm like, all right, why don't you piss off, Johnny? I was like, I don't even know that. That's not a question.
I got to where that's a statement.
Yeah.
When you pay attention to English class a little bit, I'm going to talk to your ELR teacher when they pick you up. Questions versus statements. Like questions, and I'm like teaching like academic stuff as opposed to PE stuff. Questions are when you want to know something, you're not sure the answer. When you're telling me something, that's a statement. It's not a question. So does anybody have any question? Like, you don't know what's going on. What are we playing? Yeah. Oh, Jesus. It's like,
never a dull moment though.
Oh, the first week of being a PE teacher was just, I found myself like walking, like turn around and walk to the other side of the gym. Like, don't cuss in front of the kids. You're gonna get fired.
I do that a lot now, where I kind of like, I put my hand like kind of by my head, and I kind of put down. There's deep breaths. There's times I go stand by the door and I just breathe out into the hallway, because I'm like, man, calm down. But I honestly am so calm up until lunch. Like, because lunch is about a halfway point. Yeah. Like, there's so much I can let go before lunch. But after lunch, it's like that, the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, are you serious? Stop. Like, and I've done that before, kind of like I joked about kindergarten cop. Excuse me. When we do writing, I tell them it's writing time. It's not talking time. I'm like, you're not going anywhere. There's no water. There's no bathroom. No, we're writing, because these kids need writing practice. Yeah. It's like, I can't have them wasting time, instead of doing that. All right. Is there anything you want to add before we go to a quick break?
No, I think we're good. We can roll to a break and then come back and have ourselves wrap up the episode with some fun PSAs.
And whatever I got planned.
Yeah.
All right, man. Here we go. You ready? All right, it's cheers time, and my screen moved up a little bit for me. All right, what do we got here? Hey, Choey, what do we say to our friends in Germany? Prost. South Korea? Gunbei. Brazil? Saudi. England? Cheers, mate. Australia?
Cheers, mate, again. On the barbie.
And Barbados.
Cheers. I don't know how.
I like how you go from like, cheers, mate, and then you're like, cheers.
You're
just like
a Barbadian or Barbadosian accent.
You're like, you seen Wayne's World, right?
Yeah.
You remember where they're like, he's doing when they had the green screen and doing all the states? He's like, I'm in Delaware.
We're in Texas, raising Broncos.
And he's like,
Hi,
I'm
I'm
in
in
Delaware.
Delaware.
People in Delaware are like, what the? What the? Anyway, now we got your name for your segment. I need one for me, but like I'm just gonna right now. It's just kind of like Jandler's fun time joke hour or something. You know, I just like some joke corner.
Like jamming with Jandler.
Yeah, jamming with Jandler could work.
With Jan.
Joking with Jan.
There we go.
Mrs. Janandler Bong.
This is Jan.
So it reminds me. So like I'm one of the few male teachers, right, at my school.
Yeah.
And because in elementary you don't get a lot of male. If you get male, a lot of times it's PE and stuff like that. These kids will call me miss all the time, and I'm just like,
I get
no.
mail. My teachers, which bothers me, because I work in the district, so they know who I am, and they'll tie to like an email when they were talking about my kid at another campus, Mrs. Myers.
Cut that out too.
And then we went to Painting with a Twist, me and my wife, a couple of times, and so she was just like, put your email on there. And I guess mostly just females sign up for those
Painting with a Twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get like, hey, girls' night out, make sure you sign up. And I'm like, I'm not a girl. I'm not a girl.
I wish you to.
42 years old. I'm not a girl.
I want to come back to that story on our next episode because I have some stuff for you there.
Alrighty.
All right. But yeah, we'll figure out a name. I do like, was it Jamming with Jandler? Like it sounds pretty cool. Jamming or Joking with Jandler sounds pretty cool. All right, so when COVID hit, right, that summer, I found this thing. There's some teacher slang words, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the word and I'm gonna give you a chance to see if you can figure out what the word means.
Okay.
And then if you can, I'll use it in a sentence and then see if that kind of helps, right? So these are some like teacher slang words.
Country of origin is always gonna be like here.
Say what?
So country of origin, if you have to give me like a
yeah, I'm not gonna. No, that's not what I'm doing. Dude. It's English.
Can you give me country of origin? Me.
Crayola.
That's
What
like
do you
slang.
think? Yeah, it's a teacher slang word. What do you think Crayola means?
Cranberry Coke mix.
No, so like here's some, I guess some other examples of Crayola. You could say cray cray.
Oh, so crazy.
So my class was Crayola today.
That's definitely an elementary.
I almost lost my shiitake mushrooms. I want to say. All right, shabe.
Shabe.
And this ties into your last topic. Shabe. SHBAE. Shabe.
I don't know. It almost sounds like it should be like a congratulatory word. Shabe.
Ring. Okay, that staff meeting was totally shabe. This doesn't really help you. That's not a good clue there, but that's how they're using this. Very close. It's an acronym, right? Should have been an email.
Oh.
Right? Shabe.
Oh.
Instead of having those staff meetings, it's shabe. This isn't something you have to worry about. Gray. No, I didn't make these up. Yeah. Well, I did this years ago. Like I have like no time. I have all this free time in the world to start making up words.
You making up your own. Did I offend you with like the Middle Earth Rings of Power thing where you're like, I have my own language too? Gray.
Not something admin has to do. Something
Gray.
teachers do.
Get old is what that sounds like.
Like all weekend long, I gray.
Grading.
Grading paper. Spending all night or all weekend grading paper, which is never fun. People think us teachers, like, oh, it's 3:30, our day's over. No, it's not. It's weekend time.
Just give them
No, it's not. Give them all hundreds.
No parents complain when their kids get
Until they do bad on like our math tests or our benchmarks or whatever.
Who grades those? Who grades those?
That goes to the computers, man.
Oh, okay.
Extra credit. This describes a person. Just so you know, that person is extra credit.
I would say probably just like over the board obnoxious.
Hey, very close. Yeah, over the top, excessive. So like Karen was being so extra credit during the staff meeting with all those useless questions. Remember we used to call that girl? No, remember that girl in college? We talked about college last time. We're like question girl, right? Because she always had questions, right?
Yeah. What class was that?
That was the one we joked about. Our first class at 8 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that girl
was trying to get out.
Yeah, and she'd be like asking tons of questions, and we're like, oh my gosh.
But it made him feel good. Like I could tell, like our professor was like excited that somebody was actually paying attention.
Yeah, unlike well, I mean, clearly wasn't getting that from us too.
No,
He's a cool dude, but I mean, like we were just there.
not Iggy, right?
Yeah, we called it Iggy. Yeah, we were
Probably like
you know, getting Iggy with it.
Yeah.
When that Will Smith song out.
he probably was like, I hate this too. I hope they drop out.
Fresh Prince.
I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. This is code. It's a code word for the principal is coming. So if you say, so there's a Fresh Prince rerun in the staff lounge. So you know, where's the principal at? Staff lounge. Yeah. So it's this code for the principal.
Are you also doing these through like text messages?
No, dude, I found these like like I said about 2 or 3 years ago. And then I made an animated video of me explaining it, what they are, and I put it on like this teacher meme webpage. So, but like I somebody, bored teachers, whoever did that.
That's what I'm like, yeah. Like somebody's, I'm like.
So I kind of gave you this. I don't know if you glanced at it. Elmered. Yeah. So like you're Elmered in traffic. You're late. You've been having people late to traffic. Well, you live pretty close. You should.
I live pretty close.
You shouldn't be late.
30, 40 minutes.
I'm there. I opened the school basically.
Yeah.
It's like me and the custodian. Let's go. Let's start this day. Yeah. Love that movie, man. It's another thing you wouldn't have to deal with as an administrator. USO.
Unsolved poop stain, poop box. Student object.
There's no P in there. Where are you getting this at?
Well, because instead of like the actual word, so I don't have to bleep it out. Poop object.
Oh, okay. You didn't tell me to get the bleep button ready. Unidentified sticky objects.
Oh.
So what do you think the sticky would be? So like there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than finding a USO when I'm grading papers. Yeah.
Could be poop.
Could be poop. All right, I got 3 more, man.
Poop or chocolate?
3 more. Now this one, hopefully no one's saying right now, because I'm 3 weeks in. You're 5 weeks in. You say?
Yeah.
Sway. It's another acronym. SWAY. Sway. Now, people could say this when it's a tough day. Sway.
Shoulda went away, y'all. Should studied with a yoke.
Nah.
Should have went.
Not even
and yodeled.
Not even close. Summer, where are you? Hey, dude, what's the top 3 reasons to become a teacher?
Spring break, Christmas break, and summer break.
June, July, August.
Yeah. Which sucks now because you don't even get those.
Yeah, well, you get what, like half of August?
Yeah, half of August, and depending on when you end.
Actually, you don't get half of August. You get like a week of August, and then you start back into it. And then you guys get out before Memorial Day. We have to go like a week in June. So.
Well, this year's the first time. Like other than that, we were getting like June 5th, June 6th, and then you go right into summer school next week.
All right, this is another one that I think you may not know the real stress with this because you're admin now. Xerox.
Dude, okay, so
here, I'm gonna use it in a sentence. Okay.
About copy machines breaking. Like
I'm gonna use it in a sentence. Making subplans is more Xerox than just suffering through it at school. So what do you think Xerox means?
Work.
Very close. Very close. Yeah, you make a lot of. Very stressful. You make a lot of copies. Sometimes.
Depending on like if I get to stuff. That's why that I used to make a lot because that was what I would hand out to the teachers for meetings. So that's why I decided just to share the presentation so that way they have it. That way they also can't say they lost it.
Well, they can't if they misplace it. But no, Xerox means they paint in the. Yeah, like you said, and every time I don't know how many times. I swear almost every year I send the video clip of Office Space when they beat the copier to my teachers, like when it breaks. Because I can get there early. And if I'm down there early, I'm the only one, and both break down. Like, dude, I'm trying to get my copies made. What the?
Yeah. I love the video, the how to fix me videos is on the touchscreen. I already did that. I already turned. Oh, I did. Oh, and then I just feel like if there was any machine other than to make copies of on paper,
right?
Nobody in the right mind would just stick their hand somewhere and Like, you know what I mean? If this thing's covered in cobwebs, you're not sticking your hand in there. You think it's gonna get bit off like in a movie?
I feel like there's like there's like it's not a rig. There's like some handshake deal like with the copier and then the fixing company.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we're gonna make sure your stuff is so that we can keep coming to fix it, you know, and then we keep getting paid, you know, because it's just like this stuff breaks down so often, man. It's like
because it goes through all the different nooks and crannies to make it think. But I'm just like, and then open this, pull this, rotate that, slide this over, do this, do that, and I'm like, there's so many little things. Like, I feel like you're gonna get your hand caught up in there.
I'm sorry.
And like it just rips it all.
I was preparing. I thought you were gonna
like that. Well, I mean, and that I'm like, no, like your hands gonna get ripped off and you're gonna die. Like that would be a perfect way to start off like a spoof movie. Like instead of it, like some sort of like
the copier.
Yeah, and like the copier is like, oh, hey, make a copy over here.
See,
just fix me right, and then it rips your hand off. Every teacher in the world.
See, I want to win the lottery, buy the copiers from my school, just so we can beat the out of them. You know, it's like I just want to.
We should write a script. That could be the opening thing. It's like a teacher, like, what happens to Mr. So and so? Like his hand gets bit off by the copier machine because he's trying to fix it.
Hey, what movie is this? What the is the PC load letter?
Isn't it? I'm like, wait, no.
All right, last one. Pensolepto. I think you can get this one. Pensolepto.
The little kids that steal your kid, little kleptomaniac.
Yeah, so it's someone who steals pencils, but I don't have people that steal pencils. I have kids that I swear they eat these pencils or whatever because like they're there and then they aren't. But what I'm starting to do this year because they drop so much on the ground that I just pick it up at the end of the day. I have a bag, like a gallon-sized bag right now, that's almost full, and I've been in school for 3 weeks. So we had school for 14 days, and I'm almost full of like pencils and crayons because these kids just drop stuff. And I got one kid that breaks things, and I'm just like, and then like, and I get it as kids, like they'll break it and then they sharpen both sides, and I'm like, no, that's unsafe. Give me that here.
That stabbed you right in the eyeball.
Yeah, I was just like, no. So we can't be doing that. And they look at me like, why? What's the big deal? And I was like, oh. All right, anything you want to add before we get ready to go? Because it looks like this is it, you know?
I think we got it for this episode. I'm excited.
Hey, so we're going to end with the episode name, and let's see if you can do the initials.
Ooh, I can't. Because as it is, I'm like, all I can think of is like the Seinfeld episode. So I don't even know. Is it right? The Super Terrific Happy Fun Hour?
Okay. It's Choey and Jandler's
Choey
The Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour.
Choey and Jandler's The Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour.
Right. And the Super Terrific Happy Hour, we forgot, we neglected that earlier. Yeah, that came from Seinfeld. So a lot of our pop references are friends in Seinfeld because that's what we watched a lot in high school. Yeah. Yeah, but that was fun. I still think Seinfeld's iconic, man. But so it'd be CAJTFSTHH. Yeah, it rolls off the tongue with all those 9 initials, right? There's only one vowel in there too, so you can't like it'd be some kind of like Eastern European word.
It just sounds like something like you're either like really wasted and so you're trying to say catfish or some sort of weird like Lord of the Rings logo. Like the logo.
You know, when people listen to this, they're gonna think you hate Lord of the Rings now, man.
I loved it when I was a kid, when I was younger. The movies are awesome. I just can't.
You just hate prequels.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna pick that up in the next episode.
All right.
Until then, everybody.
All right, we'll say goodbye.